Hi there, freelance friends. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So today we are going to be talking about Microsoft Create, and I'm going to call it the hidden tools that make Office 365 very useful for freelancers. I've recently learned that many people do not even know that this exists, and it's a great tool, in my opinion. Now, it's not especially flashy, and for some reason, it's not something that Microsoft is heavily marketing. But I think that as a freelancer, you're going to find it genuinely useful. And it is likely something that's already included in your Microsoft subscription if you have one, and I know that most freelancers do. So the tool is called Microsoft Create, and you can find it at m365.cloud.microsoft/create. So what I'll do is I'll explain what it is, why it matters for you as a freelancer, and how I've been using it in my own workflow. And of course, I'm going to include how Copilot fits into the picture with this tool. So what is this Microsoft Create? Well, it's essentially a centralized hub that brings together Microsoft's creative and productivity tools into one place. So instead of having to open separate apps or websites for Word, for PowerPoint, for Designer, for Clipchamp, which is Microsoft's video editing tool, and other Microsoft tools that you're going to use, you can access everything from this single starting point. Basically, think of it as a project launchpad. You go to m365.cloud.microsoft/create, and you're going to see all your creative options laid out in one place. You'll see that you can create a presentation, you can design graphics, you can edit videos, you can create a video, you can create a video from a PowerPoint, you can build a form, lots of things going on here. Now, this is not a new tool in itself. It is basically access to the tools that you already have with your Microsoft 365 account. What I feel like this website does a nice job of doing is changing how you interact with these tools. So instead of simply thinking that you need to open a document, you think, I need to create something. And Microsoft Create shows you the best tool for the job. So for freelancers who often juggle multiple types of work, like many of us do with creating documents and presentations and graphics and videos, the kind of consolidation that's available because of this website is actually going to save you time and mental energy. So you're probably wondering if you have access to this site. And if you don't, what's the cost? Well, this is where it gets interesting. And of course, because Microsoft's involved, a little complicated. Microsoft Create is actually included with most M365 subscriptions, but the features that you are going to see may differ from mine because what you get access to, including the Copilot integration capabilities, vary depending on the subscription you have. So you are going to have access to Microsoft Create even if you have an M365 personal license. But if you have a free Microsoft account, then you are not really going to have access to this feature. You will have access to some features, but definitely not the full Create hub as I'm showcasing here today. So for me, because I have the Microsoft 365 subscription, I have this included with my account. It's part of the package. And then again, it likely is for many of you. So if you're already paying for Microsoft 365, Microsoft Create is going to be included at no additional cost. You're already paying for it. You just may not have known that it was there. Now, the next question is probably about the Copilot capabilities with this tool. And are they always included? Well, this is where I want to try to be clear about something that confused me at first. Copilot integration in Microsoft Create depends on your subscription level. So this is where if you have a standard Microsoft 365 subscription, which is basically, as I understand it, the personal, the family, the business basic or business standard, you do have access to Microsoft Create. You also have access to Microsoft Designer, which is the AI image generation tool that I spoke about a couple of podcasts ago. So basically, you can use the Create Hub to access all your tools, and you can use Designer's AI feature to generate images and designs, but you won't see Copilot suggestions or assistance when you are working with some of the other features that are available here in Create, unless you pay for that additional Copilot subscription, which we've talked about before on several of the podcasts. It ends up to be about $20 a month to add on that premium Copilot option with your Microsoft account, at least as of the time of this recording. So if you do have a Copilot Premium license, when you open Microsoft Create, you're going to see Copilot prompts like, what would you like to create today? And Copilot will actually suggest various templates or tools or even help you brainstorm project ideas, which is really awesome. Then when you utilize it from Create, Copilot is going to help you draft the content, create slides, or analyze data depending on what you're doing. So my experience, because I have Copilot Pro, I can speak to how it actually shows up in Microsoft Create. So when I open up the Create Hub, Copilot presents in a few ways. You can see that it acts as a conversational starting point. So instead of just seeing tiles or apps, I actually see a Copilot prompt at the top that says, what would you like to create today? And at that point, I can type into the prompt box something like, I need to create a training presentation about productivity. And Copilot will then suggest using a specific PowerPoint template, creating graphics in Designer, maybe even building a survey to gauge the participants' needs. It isn't really making the decisions for me, but it's definitely helping me through the project and suggesting the best tool to start with. It's also going to be able to give you contextual suggestions based on recent work. So Copilot's going to notice those patterns in your work. For instance, if you create a presentation about Copilot features, Copilot may suggest that you also create social media graphics to promote the training. It's going to basically help you along. And it won't be random suggestions. They're going to be based on what you actually would likely do after creating the presentation. Now, the nice thing is that there's seamless integration when moving between the apps. And I think that that's where the Copilot component of this really shines. When you move from Create into Word or into PowerPoint, Copilot really does come to life. So for instance, if you're creating a client proposal, if you start it in Create, you can use it maybe to create a proposal template in Word, but then when you open it, Copilot is going to help you draft the various sections and suggest language or summarize key points to make it a stronger proposal in this example. So what can you actually do with Microsoft Create specifically? So let's walk through what the Create Hub actually offers and how I've been using it. So the first thing is you get that quick access to core tools. When you open Microsoft Create, you're going to see those tiles for Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Designer, Clipchamp, etc. So instead of hunting through apps or bookmarks, basically everything's right here from this landing page. You can click and just start creating, which is fabulous. Next is the templates are organized by task. So Microsoft Create doesn't just give you access to tools, it shows you templates that are organized by what you're trying to accomplish, whether that be a proposal or a pitch deck or social media graphics or videos or marketing materials. So you should also find that this is very helpful when customizing your content moving forward, because you can just describe what you need and then Copilot will suggest specific templates and can even help you customize that with your information. Then you'll find that there's project continuity. Microsoft Create shows you the recent files across all your Microsoft apps, so you can literally pick up where you left off, even if you don't remember which tool that you were using. It's also going to suggest next actions based on your recent work, which is really helpful. And of course, because this is built into the M365 ecosystem, it means that there's seamless integration between your tools. And that is where Create really gets useful. It makes it easier to move between Microsoft tools without losing your flow. So the next benefit is that it does include access to Microsoft's Clipchamp video editor. Now, not all of you may know that this exists, but it does. It has a video editor that you can use called Clipchamp. And it's a web-based video editor, and it does let you do what most people need to do with a basic video editing, like editing video clips or adding text transitions and effects, creating screen recordings, exporting videos into various formats. There's a lot that you can do with this tool as a freelancer. And then last is it does have Microsoft Designer integration. So we've talked about Designer in previous posts, but I think it's worth mentioning again here because Create makes Designer more accessible. It makes it feel like it's part of your regular workflow, in my opinion, rather than a separate tool that you have to remember to use. And remember, if you have a Copilot Premium license, then Designer's AI capabilities get priority processing, which means faster image generation and more daily generations, which is obviously very, very useful. I really do feel like if you plan to use this, if you feel like it would be something beneficial, that it would be helpful to have Copilot's help and have that level of subscription throughout your workflow. The cost is about $20 additional a month. So if it is something that you're going to use with your business, it could potentially be worth at least looking into. I feel like the tool overall has really helped me. It's helped reduce design fatigue. It's helped save me a tremendous amount of time searching for various tools because they are all in one place. And it really does encourage me to use the Microsoft tools that I'm already paying for and are integrated into what I already have. So because of this, it does create workflow continuity because you're not constantly switching between apps or tools that break your focus. They're all built into the same environment with this. So it's easy to use and it consolidates your subscriptions, which is always nice. So I do use this tool frequently. I have used it to create some basic videos. Now, I'll let you know that these videos are not necessarily highly professional videos, but they do help me show clients various concepts, and they're relatively easy to create. So if you're using it for something like that, it would probably be helpful for you. But I would say it probably isn't a tool for you if you prefer best-in-class individual tools over an integrated suite like this. Of course, this solution is best suited to people who are already working in that existing M365 environment. So if you're using another suite of applications such as Google Workspace, then this may not be the best solution for you. But if you are highly embedded in the Microsoft environment, it's a good choice because Microsoft Create helps you consolidate. It's convenient. It's not about being the absolute best at any one thing. For instance, if you need the best video editor, it's probably not going to be Clipchamp. But if you just need something that's really professional and good enough, that's going to work well in your existing workflow, and especially that they're included in a subscription that you're already paying, with having access to AI assistance, if you do have that Copilot component, then Microsoft Create is definitely worth exploring. Because let's face it, as freelancers, we need something that's convenient, integrated, and already paid for. Oftentimes, we don't want more tools that complicate our process and take more time. We want something that's going to save us time and save us energy. So Microsoft Create does that. It, again, takes those tools that you're already paying for and makes them easier to access and use them together. So if you want to try it, I'd suggest checking to see if you already have access. And then if you don't have that Copilot premium subscription, I would explore the options first and see what you think. And then if you find that it is really lacking, that's where you may want to consider that Copilot Pro if you're going to use these tools regularly. Of course, to justify that cost, even though it's only about $20 a month, you want to make sure that you're getting value out of it and that it's worth the expenditure of the money. Basically, I would suggest trying one project end to end with this tool and see how it does for you and see if you can see the potential of it being very useful for you. And then you can also, take a look at what you're paying for elsewhere. Are you paying for a different video editor? Now, if that video editor has many more capabilities, obviously you probably wouldn't want to unsubscribe from that subscription. But if you're looking for a basic video editor, you may be able to consolidate in a few different ways. So I don't know if Microsoft Create is really going to change any of our lives dramatically, but I do feel that it will save freelancers a few hours each week. And hey, any time that we can get back is worth it, right? Time is valuable to us. So I think that if you are trying to work less and avoid burnout, that a tool like this is going to add some efficiencies that are going to add up. And that's been my experience anyway. So I am glad that I stumbled on it and I do use it. And I do hope it's a tool that's useful to you. So thank you for tuning in. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Take care.